फीहिम रसूलन मिनहुम यतलू अलैहिम आयातिका व युअल्लिमुहुमुल किताब वल हिकमा व युज़क्कीहिम. Now this order is very important to note. What he prayed for was that, O God, raise from among them a prophet who would read to them your the verses which revealed to him. Ayat here means the verses, the teaching which is revealed to him. وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ, and with the help of that revelation which you have made to him, he would teach them the book and also teach them the hidden meaning of the book and the philosophy behind that teaching. Having done so, وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ, he would turn them into muttaqeen. Tazkiyah and taqwa are one and the same thing practically. He would purify them. That is taqwa. So Hazrat Ibrahim thought that before any prophet claims to have turned people into muttaqiyeen or muzakkiyin, zakiyin, he must go through the process of first this recitation of the revelation, teaching of the book, and the teaching of the philosophy of the book. Having done these three things, then he can expect that the people would acquire a measure of taqwa and tazkiyah nafs. So the previous concept about all this was exactly the same. But when Allah accepted this prayer regarding Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam, although he accepted this prayer in toto, all these four elements of the prayer, ingredients of the prayer are mentioned in the acceptance of Allah, but the order was changed. You know, the order which was changed, as we find in Surah Jummah, is this: وَالَّذِي بَعَثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا مِّنْهُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَإِنْ كَانُوا مِنْ قَبْلُ لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. Now here tazkiyah is not mentioned at the end, but it is inserted between tilawat ayat and talim kitab and talim hikmah, education of the book and education of the philosophy of the book. So that means that the quality of Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his teaching would be so great vis-a-vis the purification of souls or giving them the true taqwa, that he would not stand in need of educating people and teaching them the philosophy before he could claim that now they have been purified. Just by the recitation of the revelation, he would have his own quality of purifying people. So that is where taqwa is placed. It's brought earlier than the teaching and the philosophy, etc. So a revelation has taken place, and this is the third meaning. Why this hudal lil muttaqeen? That only those people can benefit from the holy people directly without education, who have fear of God. If you do not have fear of God, even if you spend your lifetime in the vicinity or closeness of good people, you will not gain anything. Like we find in Mecca, Abu Jahl lived the same Mecca and used to see Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam almost daily like others did, like Hazrat Abu Bakr did. But when Hazrat Abu Bakr heard of the revelation having been revealed to him, he immediately accepted him. While Abu Jahl could not recognize him even after long years of struggle, from the time when this revelation was declared to the people of Mecca. He didn't receive any impression whatsoever. Why was he impervious to the influence of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and why was Abu Bakr recipient and Bilal recipient and other Hazrat Ali was recipient? Because they had taqwa and Abu Jahl had no taqwa. So, to benefit from the closeness of a holy man directly, without the help of teaching, there is a direct influence which is called Quwwat-e Qudsiyya or Quwwat-e Tazkiyah. It is essential that the person who wants to receive some benefit should have that quality of taqwa. Otherwise he cannot receive any impression. So there are so many angles to this, to the understanding of this verse, but a very beautiful world of wisdom is being contained and concealed in this book. Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum. When we study the history of religion, we find that there are very few people in the beginning who have taqwa. And yet the Holy Quran makes this claim, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. So what does it mean?
Summa Radhana, why don't you read the rest of the... Please. Summa Radhana Vasfala Safali. Illa Lazina Amanu. That means the exception is our few people.
Very little exception.
Yes.
But here it is the whole of the mankind is mentioned.
Illa means the exception begins from here.
Yeah.
And exception is always much less than the general. Those who are accepted are always fewer. When I say that all people should come to me except you, that is normal. And when I say you should come to me except all people, this is abnormal. Because they are in majority, so exception is made of the minority.
Yeah.
So the very fact that an exception is made here means that those who would be included in the list of Amanu wa Amilu Salihat, they would be much fewer in comparison to those who would be made subject to Summa Radhana Vasfala Safilin. Moreover, this is a very simple phenomenon. We should be, I don't see how one can be confused about it at all. The institution of prophethood has a direct bearing to the lack of taqwa of the people of the time. When Ahmad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was sent as a messenger for the whole mankind, the world as such is described in the Holy Quran as Zahar al-Fasadu fil barri wal bahr. That disorder is the rule of the day now. It has overwhelmed both the oceans and the dry land. That is to say, the religious people and non-religious people. World in every way, in every respect. That has been completely overwhelmed by disorder and chaos. This is why there was need for one who could create order out of disorder. So lack of taqwa was the predominant feature at the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that always is at the time of any prophet. When ordinary measures fail to rectify people, when the lack of taqwa is become a rule of the day, then prophets come and they begin to first attract those few who are exceptions already. Then through them they launch a great movement of picking up people who have even a small measure of taqwa, increasing that taqwa, and through that they to impress others and enroll others into the list of those who can be described as having some taqwa. Sometimes people who are extremely hostile to the truth to begin with, they seem to have no element of taqwa in them. But there is always some measure of taqwa within them, hidden and overwhelmed by the lack of taqwa. So sometimes, suddenly, that seed of taqwa within them sprouts and begins to flourish ultimately. And that, minority